I have a calendar with getting.
No, good, thanks.
If anyone sees Laurel Cox, those are her reading glasses.
Oh, thank you.
She left. Oh, she's just at the
Yes,
meeting
sir.
with that.
She was just in town.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps.
I can take them back to the office for this.
I'll see Chuck tomorrow.
Okay,
Perfect.
great, thanks.
You can trust him to get them. It's not a note, it's a maple.
Well, apparently the weather's right for it.
Yeah.
My dad's 20.
Really? That's
Early
nice.
season.
Really? I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
He thinks it's bad.
Yeah, I'm like, sounds exciting, but
Didn't
it
use the
sounds kind
tap
of bad.
before
actually.
March 1st.
Yeah.
Ever.
I know, I never thought of February and January, but
Not
think
supposed to
about
be.
that.
And there is handle it.
Are you okay with that?
Losing it.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it, got it. Three words. Including tonight. Have it. Have it.
Brady, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
All right, another week, I went to my meeting. Finally got a doctor's appointment, we come out.
Oh, good.
Had a week.
All right, guys, the longest minute of the night.
More Betty and my daughter's Paul. Pretty rough, ain't it, huh?
Yeah. Can I say that?
One.
That was, you know, like,
Just gotta go through the
Okay.
rest.
But we can see you right now.
I don't know.
Okay, I just was, when I went, I was. Okay, because
Yeah.
are we gonna just write it? Just get it over with, right?
Comments.
We're gonna leave it, or we're gonna?
Well, so it's in the paperwork, it's filed.
Say no.
Was that not one of those that had time?
All right, it's 6 o'clock in the town of Lee on Tuesday, February 20th, and we're ready to call this meeting to order. Would anyone like to share some public comments? Please come up for 3 minutes, share where you live, your name, and limit it to 3 minutes.
Good evening, Pat Barber, One Sea Hill Road. This is more a clarification than a comment. In looking over the information from the proposed town office project, I'd like to suggest to the Board of Selectmen that we clarify the status of the lease with Dailies. I think during the time that we've talked about it, it's been a little unclear how long the existing lease actually goes. So I went and visited with Denise today and went over, and it looks to me like the lease actually ends in 5 years.
Correct.
I think the figure 9 had gotten thrown around at a few
No,
meetings.
the total years 9, we've had 4 already.
Okay, but I think that needs to be clarified because it will definitely make a more,
Poignant.
it'll add some pressure to the whole situation. My other question was, how many of the Board of Selectmen have been to see Carino's work in Barrington?
I know I have. You guys are bringing it.
I'm the one on the 26th.
Okay.
I haven't been in person, but I can reviewed all of their work online.
Comments?
It was lovely. I enjoyed meeting there and looking around. Did you have anything you
No, I
wanted
was
to
just curious because I think that was another thing that was kind of asked at the deliberative session. I wasn't clear, I understood the answer, and I was hoping that somebody had seen their work.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you've been as well, right?
I've been, and actually, I talked with their code enforcement officer and their town administrator about it. They were satisfied with the work that Carino did. They had some minor subcontractor issues. The flooring subcontractor got the glue wrong on a portion of the floor and had to come back and redo the floor. The window contractor also
Fix some things.
provided some windows that didn't latch correctly or something along those lines, but Connor was clear that the subcontractors had come back under the direction of the contractor and repaired or replaced what needed to be.
I know when I bought our house here in Lee in the first year, we saw the contractor many, many
I bet.
times
I
for all
bet.
the little things. And then that's why they have the extra warranty.
And I was also happy to hear that Mr. Kozowski is working on some presentations for us,
Yeah.
so.
Thank you, we're really excited about that. Anyone else, public comment, 3 minutes? No? Okay. We're gonna start today with our appointments, and Deb Shander, you gonna come up to talk?
So I'm providing, Emily's not here, so you've got me again, some updates on the library renovation. And just to call off, we're ahead of schedule, which is awesome. So we've definitely saved some money in the super being there, all the things that come with just being in the building and doing, managing the work. So very, very pleased about that. I'll read this first and then we'll go there. The interior painting is complete, including the wainscoting repairs. Any place they replaced it identical to what it was. The wood flooring is refinished, and now it's covered to avoid the damage, but it's beautiful. The restroom and craft area are complete and both outfitted with ADA compliant fixtures. The ring lights are installed, which are absolutely beautiful. The children will love them. They will be adjusted one more time when the acoustical panels go in, but they're really beautiful right now. The exterior lights are installed, including the signage, lighting, and the recessed light above the front door, and both equipped with daylight sensors. The exterior door is being refurbished and painted to its original color, and half is actually already done. Let's see, the power lines have been removed. There was one lingering the other day, but that is definitely coming down. I checked on that. I'm not sure if it's down. I didn't go by.
It can't go down, Deb, till the fire system is on.
Oh, right, to the programming. So we're just waiting for that. Okay. And then plans have been made to move the new children's area for the open house, which is Tuesday, February 27th at 6 p.m.
Wow.
So that's how
Coming up fast.
it's coming up fast, and we hadn't planned to finish till sometime in April. I mean, worst case was last of April, so we've got about 2 months jump on this, so it's really excellent. And we really hope everyone comes to visit. It's really quite lovely. And just to go over a few of the future things that we're planning. Well, first, number one, Haley's been working unbelievably with our super there, Kevin, to relocate materials and move things around, and then get the children's area, all the books, anything that we want to put in there, that ready for the open house, which is literally a week from today. And then we're moving into the next section, so she's reorganizing that and trying to get everything together. It's pretty monumental, but it's happening, and she's just making it happen. The Lula lift installation, they've been by to both the architect and the builder. They've marked out the spots, they've got that outlined, and that's going well. The fire department has come and weighed in on that, and we're doing that it's going to be, obviously it's going to start from the first floor and go down, and so that wall is coming out, so we're going to open that open it, make more of an arch into more welcoming into the back area. And then the electrical work, because there will be new LED light fixtures in those 2 rooms, and then basically floors and walls. I mean, it's not going overboard at all here. It's quite, it's quite new, especially in comparison to the other building. The hospitality center will be installed, and that was a gift from the Friends. And we're going to relocate the staff from the corner side where they are now to right where, when you open the door, you'll be facing them, but they'll be against that far wall. And depending on how things go, we may reuse the circulation desk if we have to, but otherwise we would have one constructed to match the other woodwork that's around. And the only thing I just wanted to mention, because I know it's been talked about, is that we are aware that there is some rust on the nails coming on the clapboards. I've contacted that particular company. It's the only sub that was hired outside of the contract because the Milestone did not offer sizing, so, which stinks, So, but anyway, I've contacted them, and they were going to come right out, and I said, no, I really want you to wait until spring when there's warm weather and we can get our arms around this whole thing, and we'll tackle it at that point in time. So So they're aware, they're on the hook, and we'll go from there. So, any questions?
Oh, a lot of exciting news tonight, thank you.
Yes. Please do come to the open house.
Yeah. February 27th, you said,
A week from tonight, at 6 o'clock.
at 6 o'clock. Thank you. All right, anything else? Okay, on to regular business. Andy?
Yes, I've got a couple of brief presentations for the board. As I had mentioned to you before, Paul Kasowski has volunteered to do some media work with regard to the town office buildings. He's done a draft presentation, which you've seen. I sent the earlier one that he did not have some of the adjustments he had made to you, and sent the other one as well. And if you don't mind, I'd just like to run through the slides. There are two presentations. One is the initial draft that he's done for the Lee Town Office building, and the second one is essentially a walkthrough of the Barrington Town offices. So hopefully this
Now we can all enjoy it.
works on this computer.
Just click my chair and not be. I need to be.
Just scroll down.
There we go. Someone like threw that back of it way out of. It's just a little. Sorry.
So this is Paul's draft of the first presentation, starting with the actual warrant article.
Can we add into this slide the additional language we added to the voter guide?
The words we added.
The words that we added?
Yep. I would assume that Paul, I'll check with Paul, see if he's agreeable to that, but I assume he is.
Paul's in the back of the room.
I will. I love this visual, actually.
Yeah, it's
cool.
awesome. Helps to really figure out where it is.
And this, just as you can see, providing a location,
That really helps with her.
a little different viewpoint.
The view from the cemetery. Looks nice.
Okay.
These site plans showing entrance, parking, traffic flow, where Wednesday Hill comes in there. I left another message with DOT engineer Brian Schutt this morning, asking for some sort of direction regarding Wednesday Hill, and hope to have that back. More of the site plan.
I think we might be okay, I'm not an English person, we've discussed this, but does town offices imply more than one building? Sorry, scroll down. Town offices, like, is it, can you scroll down just like a Jamie?
The town office building with offices inside.
I know, I just wanna make sure, but this is not implying that the well or the septic are for any other building than the town office building.
Okay.
I'm just, does anybody else read it as a possibility?
Town office building, I think is right here.
Yeah, I wanna make sure we're aware that this is the well, and subject strictly for this building only.
I like that.
Andy, can you see what slide number that is? That would help me.
It is slide number 7.
Okay. Thank you.
This just gives a good overview of the actual dimensions of the space. Paul had added the draft conceptual floor plan on each of these.
I appreciate that.
And we can't do anything with the select board office room, right? We can't take office from somewhere else, cover that in a piece of white paper.
I guess I could cover it with a piece of white paper. I was not able
Take a
to.
photocopy.
I was not able to edit the language
Got
on the.
Is this a PDF, or sorry, is this a PowerPoint?
What was the, I didn't hear the comment.
So there's an office that says select board, which would be basically never used because we can't really meet unless it's a meeting and we'd have to have room for everyone. So you really want that just to say office instead of select board offices?
I may be able to edit that out.
Is it a PowerPoint?
It's not a, well,
Setting up an inset.
no, it's not a PowerPoint, I'm not sure what it is, and the actual floor plan and site plan are done in sort of
We've asked
proprietary.
to switch it before,
Yeah.
they have not, so I don't know what it is about this particular slide that's hard, but I was wondering if we could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can call Stephanie too, and see if she can
Yeah.
do it.
Just because we want anyone that's thinking about using the office to know that that's an option for them, not already taken. But I love this is great, showing
Yeah.
them this, the overlays. It's very clear. Great.
No, I really liked this, the
Yeah.
zipping in all the different sections
It's really
and
well
like
done.
secure entrance, I love it.
Mhm. Visually easy to follow. It also helps us understand how they laid it out. It's great. That's wonderful. Thank you very much. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Now, let me see if I can get
Oh, that's right,
the
you're right.
Barrington one.
I forgot, sorry.
And this is in rougher form.
I shared that with the Energy Committee, they had not seen it yet, so I sent them a copy of the
Of the
energy
building.
update, yeah. I told them that it was in the select board meeting, but to make sure that they had a copy.
Okay, I talked to Mary too.
I would say ours looks snazzier than this one.
I mean, you learn and grow, right, get better.
And these are pictures that Paul took last week at the Barrington Town offices, just
We do have the cute cupola at the top
Oh, I
though.
thought this was Barrington's presentation, I was like, wow, our presentation is way snazzy.
The one comment that two of the Barrington department heads had was that they did not plan for enough parking.
Okay.
Interesting.
On a busy day when all the employees are there, it is very tight and a problem.
What
Something
is
to
the,
think about.
do we know what their parking is?
I do not know the exact count,
They
but I
don't have a
would
lot
get
of
that.
parking on there, you're right. Yeah, when you have a meeting, it gets full.
Right now, hold on, I have to stop it.
The layout of their actual offices without the meeting room is fairly similar to what we've been talking about for the Lee building.
Nice, clean, neat, nothing fancy, nothing.
A couple of windows for the clerk. Building and assessing is set up very much like we've discussed with two desks and open space, be able to look at plans with a small conference room off to the side.
That could be.
The one thing that Barrington did do beyond the filing cabinets, they spent a fair amount of money on new furnishings, which
Which is why Barrington keeps asking us what our plan is for furnishings, because they
Right.
need to spend money.
I keep explaining that our plan is to
Plan is not
move
to
what
do
we
that,
have.
yeah. Which won't make it look as fancy. On the other hand, there's only so much a town can take in expenses in 1 year. If they work, they work.
This is the main lengthwise corridor down the center of the building.
Looks like my desk.
And I would take a picture of my desk because he's so embarrassed.
This is the finance desk, but their finance desk.
Awesome. Lots of space, looks good.
And they have windows for finance too, for the assistant administrator and finance both can get to a window.
Great. That's something we don't have, that's a nice feature.
What?
Finance and,
Denise has a window.
okay, good.
This is just the sort of catch-all workspace in administration and finance, sort of similar to the room that's towards our end of the building presently.
And that's nice because you can grow into it if you need it, but you can use it now.
These are their, they have two spare offices for committees and commissions. These are those desks.
That's great, I like how you can have them blocked off, that's great.
And they're behind a locked door in the finance administration has a a secured door.
Great.
So those 2 desks are in that open space, are not accessible without a fob or someone letting you in.
That makes sense.
This is their small meeting room, which essentially the select board uses for non-public. It's adjacent to the large meeting room.
Because their meeting room is big enough to have actual select board meetings in, which is why they're confused about our select board office, because that's not right.
They have a couple of other meeting rooms. There's one at the planning and zoning ends. This is their main meeting room.
It's a lot bigger than it looks in this picture.
Yeah, it does sort of compact it, but it's a
Yeah.
good sized room, heavy on the audio visual too. It's very well mic'd with extra wide video monitors on both sides of the room.
Mhm.
This is their break room and kitchen.
Mhm.
Currently, the day to show up is early Monday. They have Muffin Monday where people take turns showing up early and making muffins for the staff.
Isn't they make them in the kitchen?
They make them in the kitchen, yes.
That's pretty impressive.
I believe it's the
One woman
the
made
finance.
Yeah, no.
In my next life, I'm not gonna run for select board, I'm just gonna be the muffin lady, and that's gonna be my role in town.
Oh, he didn't even, before we took the text, I just.
For what?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. This just gives you a feel for the building, and I know that, you know, Paul had emailed me today that he intends to refine this and give it some more direction with some more
That's great.
statistics to lend itself to our project.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I think everybody has this too. so-
But they are working on putting solar on their buildings. That's one of the things that they're doing there. Next step.
But if the board is generally approving with the suggestions that you made this evening,
Yeah,
I think we would
go forward.
like to move forward
No
as
time
fast
like
as
the present.
possible.
So we're putting this out on the website?
We'd be putting this on the website, we'd be putting it on social media.
It's not ours, it's
It's
a
Paul's.
non-select board created, so it's allowed to be, can't be.
Well, I think
Well.
Paul's space is that he's creating it and he's going to
Beautiful.
give it to you.
I'm
But
giving it
somebody,
to you.
but somebody else could, right.
It's
somebody could-
yours.
Somebody could take it and they can share it if they want to. If they want to go out and campaign. We can't campaign, but they can.
Make sure that on that same page is that bar graph we talked about with the like, you know what I'm talking about? Okay.
No.
The tax implications and the amounts per year, there was like a bar graph we had at one point. They created one for the middle school. Can we make sure we have one of those too?
Yeah, we could do something similar. So just showing the bond payments.
Yeah, and what the tax impact isn't gonna be accurate out too far, but we should at least have the numbers there based on our current evaluations.
Okay.
Would it be possible to show the lease with just the same increase it has now, instead of just keeping it, holding it at $6,000 as an option as well, just to understand, because we already have like a pattern.
Yeah, the lease one I did incorporate the increases in the lease.
Okay.
We have 3 increases, and we're just starting the second increase now.
But I mean, so the next 12, so year 9 to 12, if we did,
Oh, yeah.
if you took the same amount that it
Same
increased,
percentage.
yeah, then that would at least give a more reasonable number. I think it's,
Also make sure we have, to Pat's point, the time left on our lease.
yes,
People are aware that we are in
5
year,
years, yep.
are we in year 4 or in year 5?
We're in year 4.
We're in year
2020.
Right, but we don't know that he won't renew.
No, but we should be aware that
It is a possibility.
Right.
how about this current lease is up
Correct.
with a possibility of extending it.
All right,
Okay, can
absolutely,
I
come on up.
comment?
Thanks for all your hard work.
Paul Guzowski, 46 Lamprey Lane. In terms of mounting this, so the slideshow you're looking at will mount easily on your website. I'm not sure how readily it will adapt to Facebook, but the municipal office slideshow I've made into a movie,
Oh, great.
and the movie can drop into, I'm gonna hand that off to you, and my suggestion would be you mount that movie on Facebook,
Correct.
because it'll mount easier. And in your lead up to that, you give links back to the website, so people can watch the slideshow in more detail. And they can also look at the Barrington building, which will mount, if you
Yeah.
wish,
Yeah.
on your website.
I don't think we'd want to put it on our Facebook page, on a social media, because it would be confusing if it's Barrington or Lee. I think it's great to put the Lee
Yeah,
building and then
just put
have
the Lee
access.
building. Yeah, the movie, the Lee building, and then cross-reference back to your website. Before we complete the Barrington stuff, Andy, we'll need to get with Connor and make sure he's comfortable with whatever we come up with.
Yeah, and I believe he will be, but we can certainly do that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you want to show someone's desk. at
Might want to show
the
his desk, not messy, or
You can send us an updated photo.
something along those lines. but-
Otherwise, it's important to me that you assume ownership, and
Thank
you could use it or not use it, okay?
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Can you put someplace the context of why you're showing Barrington?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's the company that we're looking to use, and also it's similar.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you. Yep, come on up, Mr. Tappan.
John Tappan, 187 Stepping Stones Road. The presentation brought up two questions, and then your discussion brought up a much, much more serious question. In the presentation, first, it stated that the well is only for the town office. So, of course, that points out that there's going to be a second well that's needed, and you're making no plans for that. So you're going to pay for a well drilling rig to come and put in one well, and that well is not going to be planned or sized for the other buildings. And so you're putting off to the future, paying for a well drilling rig to come back, and much of the cost is just getting the rig on site, out in the woods, to do that. So you're agreeing, yes, we have a bad plan, and that's what we're gonna do.
No, I'm not agreeing yes to a bad plan. I'm agreeing that that is what we're looking at right this moment. That doesn't mean that we can't change that as we make plans and make sure we have the right funding and all those things. But at this moment, we are not tackling all of those issues. We can definitely tackle that as time comes.
Second, it said that the office building orientation is ideal for solar. It's approximately 30 degrees east of south. So could you explain why having your panels faced 30 degrees east of south is ideal?
I have asked that question myself, and I have not gotten an answer.
I don't think the word ideal belongs there.
Great. And can we review, like, is there a reason? Because I've asked several times why it wasn't, so I agree with you. That's something that I don't understand.
I can certainly follow up on that.
I think if it's just to match the road, then that's something that we can discuss, but that does seem a little silly.
I mean, it may be reasonable for solar, but to state that it's ideal is misleading. It could well be that west of south is ideal. It certainly is in hotter climates. The other thing that, to me, your discussion seemed raised a great deal of concern, is that is about the analysis of continuing with renting a building versus paying for building the building. The analysis that was presented with the deliberative session was abysmal. It skipped the $400,000 cost that is coming from the fund. That is very obviously part of the cost of the building. It put an emphasis on equity, as if building equity in a town building is useful to the town. Equity to homeowners is very useful because they can use it as collateral for additional borrowing, or they can, after a while, cash out and buy a bigger house. And that's why we have the term starter home. But for the town, we don't plan to cash out and buy a bigger house, a bigger town office, and we don't need it for collateral for another loan. So the only advantage it gives us, and it's small, is that there is a small difference in the cost of insurance depending on whether we own the building or not. A much better way of analyzing those cash flows is to look at the internal rate of return. And that's the kind of thing that you should be presenting as a realistic analysis to the people instead of what was shown at the deliberative session. I did put together a spreadsheet that does that, and it looks like you get, if you want to make a financial case, you get to reasonable internal rates of return up around 30 years or more, way past the term of the bond. And that tells you that if you're looking at this as your office facility, you need to be making sure that this building is what all you're going to need for something like 3 decades or more.
Great, thank you.
So please, do not be presenting more misleading, incorrect information to the public like that comparison.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else?
Just the only thing in terms of what John brought up, the first thing in terms of the well, because the plan would be, and I kind of, if you take it in the particular phase that we're in, and yes, that well will just be for that particular building, but I think ultimately that well will provide water for all those particular buildings.
That's not what we've discussed right now.
Well, since I wasn't there at those particular meetings, I wouldn't have heard that, but yes, that was the plan previous to that.
And that's something you can definitely decide going forward, that makes more sense, and then to
Yep.
figure out the funding and make that happen. I can't say what you're going to decide, like what we're going to decide down the road
I understand that.
until it's done,
Well,
so.
If you presented that that's well is for that particular building only, you should probably put in the caveat that potentially it could be.
Mhm.
Necessarily, it doesn't have to be, but it could be.
Correct, that'd be a great way to put it. Thank you.
And in terms of his third point, yes, you kind of have to look at those particular two things in terms of what's the cost over the particular period. The thing that irritates me is in terms of, I do not know if Mr. Daly would renew the lease. Maybe he has something else he wants to use, which puts the town in a very difficult position, because if he says, oh, he has to give us some notice, that's usually not very much notice.
It's as if we're guaranteeing the price he'll lease the building to us. It's as if we're guaranteeing the use of the building, and we do not have those guarantees.
Right.
So there's a security to it as well, so.
And you do not know what he's gonna renew the lease for. He gave us that initial price in terms of that $5,000 a month
Right.
with the basis that we do the maintenance, that's why it's so low.
Right.
But now, everything else is escalated
And
at
he
such a
could sell
pace.
the building to somebody else
You
as
could.
well, and we could also, in that case, be removed. Do you have something else you wanted to add?
Yeah, the analysis where it shows that the price doesn't go up is incorrect.
We were just trying to get
lease-
numbers in.
The lease numbers, it's a 4.5% increase after each 3-year step. So nominally, first order, that's only like 1.5% per year. I figured it's gotta be at least 3% a year after that, and put in a provision for a jump after the 9 years, that there may be a readjustment, and it might actually go up quite a bit.
Right.
And so if you're gonna present realistic numbers, it should be something more like that.
I agree. I think the hard part is, what we can't do is start deciding things and making, because what if we don't build this building, and now we've set up this expectation that the lease has to go up, 6%, that, like, now that happens. I don't want to put numbers into anyone's mind either, so I think it's hard to guess, and I think these numbers are made up numbers.
The assumptions should never be presented as if they are fact and that's known.
Correct.
They should be stated as assumptions.
Right, and everyone
And
comes
I
from
think-
different angles.
I think the voters are sophisticated to understand, enough to understand that if you present it that way, you say, assuming, and list what the assumptions are,
Mhm.
then they can make up their own mind.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, other business.
Okay, I have one miscellaneous item to take care of. You may recall a couple of meetings ago, I talk to you about the Red Cross. And they wanted to use our meeting room, had some concern about the application language, particularly with regard to workers' comp. I spoke to our attorney who advised me pro bono because this was the Red Cross and said that the Red Cross's attorney was probably right. The language regarding workers' comp should come out of our application, that it was really over the top as far as us trying to pass the buck on liability. And she offered me a corrected version and sent it to me. It's essentially, it strikes the words and claims for workers' compensation, whether or not any of the above arise from the negligence of the town. And both attorneys indicated that that should be removed. So I have a new copy of the meeting room application with that language removed.
Great.
And I'm hoping that you could adopt it, just because typically the board has adopted the applications and policies for it.
Now reader controller.
That's fine. I appreciate that the Red Cross has brought to us this important information and can make us better.
I think most groups in the past had just said, yeah, we want the room, and signed the application without really reading the
Which
small print.
I appreciate. It's nice to have somebody take the time to be careful and thorough. After Mr. Buckby reads it, I'll move. What is it called again?
Workers' comp.
It is called the meeting room application form.
Okay. I move that we go forward with the changes to the meeting room application form as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Buckby, read it while we wait.
It will be changed at the bottom, all right?
Yeah, the dates and the, yes. Then you have adopted it.
Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. What else you got?
That is really it at this point. Obviously, I will talk with Paul tomorrow. I'm also going to get with somebody from Carino so we can stake the building out in preparation for the March 2nd event. One of the things that I had done, just because it's close, we had discussed, and you had discussed, having the meeting afterwards at the town hall, just to show the presentation of plans. I need to do a little work to figure out how I'm going to be able to project the presentation.
And then we ask the library if that's a possibility.
I did talk with the librarian who has us penned in.
And you can hook right into the TV with an HDMI, or we also have a screen and a projector.
Nice.
But when it's light, you can't really see very well, so we suggest in the daytime to plug it into the TV. It's quite a big TV.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
And I'm probably forgetting something, but
Well, we can
the
do it
assistant
under
is
older
not bugging me,
neighborhoods.
so
Did we just do this on the third?
March
second,
Second.
yes.
Sorry.
Start
10 a.m.
10. All right, so I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. We're already looking at the next part. All right, sign these. And some of these are going to take a minute. You want to do? Oh, you I'll be doing my last manifest on March 1st, and then someone else will start to need to do that. Oh, so where is that?
You have violations on there,
No, not much. I'm sorry, so are we gonna cross the 0 out and put a 4
no,
here?
he'll adjust it, but it's, what we're signing is the,
It's just the application?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't,
so you can change that maybe.
Okay.
Oh, was this with us? I signed 2 little euro signs. Alright, so these are done by everybody. These are done by everybody.
I just assumed, wanted to make sure.
Yeah, thank you.
These are a little confusing, sorry guys.
yes, those are for you.
Okay, anything else? Or just that one?
Probably say A and D, just to make sure you're covered.
Great. It's very possible the next 30 seconds my brain will forget that, but I will.
A and D. A and I.
Perfect. I'll probably say A and W, thinking of like. Arrange that right now. Those are the little things.
Alright, 6 months, yeah.
Mr. Bugby is not here.
Rejected. It was literally in that stack, you just handed back to us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice try
Oh, that's
though.
why, because we're on this side.
Mr. Tappan? I'm just taking over.
Thank you. Yeah, get used to it.
You're warming up for next month.
I appreciate that.
John Tappan, 187 Stepping Stones Road.
Yes.
In the agenda that was published online and available over the weekend, there was a library trustees memorandum of understanding and cooperative agreement,
Yes.
but that's not on the paper agenda that's listed now.
Correct.
What happened to that?
They decided to wait and do it at a later date to review more carefully. Is that correct? Did I get that right?
Absolutely, yeah, we wanted to chat with Andy and with Steve and to make sure all our things aligned before we
So it's
present it.
postponed, but thank you for asking.
It will be coming back after the next trustee meeting.
Is that coming in future?
Let's look closer to, do we have any old business or new business or show business?
It shows us.
Okay.
It did say coming in future.
Move to enter non-public session. Any, I'm sorry, I thought you said.
Did you do new business? I heard show business. I didn't.
Yes, it said old
Oh, this is
business,
new
new
business,
business,
show
show
business.
business.
Go ahead with
Oh,
your,
okay.
any
I
business
missed
you
the
have.
middle one then. Yeah,
Yes.
new business. Would the board give permission for Catherine to, there is an umbilical tree that is in the town forest
Yes, that we've read about in
You
the.
don't-
Yes, that
Catherine
you-
prior many
Yes.
years, yeah.
that you read about.
Yeah.
It has fallen down.
Oh.
No, that's okay. It's fallen down. Catherine would like permission for her to take the umbilical part,
Mhm.
and she's gonna use it as an educational prop.
Sounds fabulous.
Would that be okay with the board if we allowed her to do that?
Absolutely here, what do you think?
All right, can you let Steve know, because I asked her to talk to Steve about
Okay.
this?
Was that a no, Rebecca, or was that a yes?
I mean, would anybody else want the tree? Like, I don't,
It could rot in the forest and
okay, but
Yes,
like,
it could rot.
I mean, but like, I don't know, there's no objections, I
Catherine
don't
would be
know.
more excited about it.
Sure.
It's a piece of
It's a
town
what kind of
property,
tree?
so.
Correct.
What? It's an umbilical tree.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
You should go read it. No, read it.
Yes,
Look at
read the,
e-crier.
yes, read the
I
e-crier
skimmed
from
the
last week.
e-crier, okay.
So,
We just learned a lot about Rebecca, you guys.
yeah.
Shocked.
So if we could give her permission to do that, that would be great. Also, it would probably be prudent if we can ask Steve if he can extract the umbilical part from the rest of the tree, so there's no liability issues. What?
I will discuss this with Steve.
What Steve was hoping for was one more depth, so that's great. That's
Well,
just
he can
super
assign it to
funny.
whoever he wants, but I'd rather have a town
Perfect.
person do it than have somebody else do it. So.
Okay,
And now we know why Denise does not have a mic.
yes. Denise wants to do it. I think that's great. Yes. Oh, Denise is chainsaw certified. I would like to suggest that we have Denise do it. And I would also like a video of that experience.
I don't know that she's certified to drive the loader out there to pick it up after she saws it up.
How big's the part she wants?
It's pretty big.
The part she wants is pretty big?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to read that article.
Clearly, I will
Stuff.
go back and read the nature.
Yeah, and so, you
More
know,
carefully.
go forward reading the inquiries, because people were
I
on
read a
that.
lot of it. I skipped it.
There's a picture of it.
I will go back and read it
Um,
word for word.
In the best interest of our town and this meeting not going downhill any more than necessary, I move that we enter into non-public session at RSA 91A, colon 3, 2A and D.
Second.
Discussion,
No.
roll call, Ms. Woodby.
Yes.
Coughlin.
Yes.
Casper, yes. We will take our Salinas into right. Yes. Oh, I miss those. You hear this later, making us more happy.
You just wanted to be here. When it was raining in this area,
They're not, I'm counting to the week because he chased up around Naples. Right.
Oh, for the hardware?
It's Tuesday, last week for the hardware.
Yeah.
It hadn't been ordered yet. So he can't physically, the door's ready to go up, we're just waiting for the hardware. So he's like, oh, annoyed because
So I
he
tried
hadn't
to
heard anything
go
about the
all
hardware. So he was on it last week, I haven't heard, I'll talk to him tomorrow. See if he
Because
can-
Ryan's not buying it though. I mean, Miles.
They were waiting for approval from Ryan. So basically, Ryan sent it out,
Yeah, yeah,
and we
yeah.
all gave our opinion, and I thought he had to go ahead.
Right.
Everybody was pretty much like, okay, we'll go with the black. That was my
Yeah.
understanding.
That's what I said it. I think I was the last one that said it. I said, I thought we were doing gold. No, we should match the lights. Perfect, got it.
I
Let's
think,
go.
having got in touch with Ryan, I think Jeff too, so let me look up on that tomorrow.
Well, don't worry. I was just worried that I would say something that
just
wasn't true.
Like they
No,
put
the only thing
signs
that
that
he
he
said
says
there was one thing that was
foul
that was
language and
correct on, but I can't remember what it
flashing
was now.
trees.
Something very minor.
Things like that.
Not
Yeah, I mean,
No,
just
it might have been the
respectful.
doors.
Yeah,
It might have been that you said the doors were open.
I said half of one.
But there's
What
nothing
you put
there.
right
There was
back
something
there.
about something that was done and it's not quite done yet, but it doesn't matter, because it will be done.
Blazed the trail, heated blazes and trees.
What is that?
Yes, yes.
On your property?
Yes.
Yeah, it is bad.
But,
Yes.
Well, he said that it wasn't contingent.
But in their
He
trust-
said it
That's
was.
the last one. It's
But they,
fine.
but they told me the other day that
happen, but it's
they literally
usually
told me
just
the
a
other day it's
one-off,
got nothing in
but
that,
the
the lawn camps is
person-
gonna just take it down. That there's nothing required to it. If that has been the most,
Okay.
yeah,
That's
these are the new things.
Something like minor.
Is your property posted?
This was correct. I don't think I read all.
Yeah, no, no.
Initially, we put up signs that it said,
Oh, it was, no, it was my misunderstanding of what you were talking about the lights, and
Yeah.
I thought you said signage was up, which the signage isn't,
Oh,
but then I
right,
realized you said
signage lighting.
lighting.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
okay,
good.
good, yeah.
No, we're good.
In 34 years, we've had 2 people who have done it. Really honestly, rang the doorbell.
Thank you.
And one guy, they filled out the fishing game document that showed him the homeowner and information card.
That's nice.
Gave us all- So he's the guy that has permission.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Everything.
Yeah. Usually they don't do things like that.
No, but this guy did.
That's great.
program at Carino?
March 2nd.
March 2nd. I missed it.
I know, I
March, but I missed it. March 2nd.
Which is this weekend, right?
Next,
Yeah, that.
Oh.
That sounds just,
Saturday's the 24th.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
so March 2nd.
March 2nd at 10 o'clock.
So meet at the,
Wait, where did they say they were?
well, I mean, I guess they must be meeting at the town center parking lot, at the library. I don't know.
I know I didn't catch that part either. I was too busy writing from the
I
other
know.
part.
Well, it's gonna be Nicar, I noticed about it.
Oh, God,
I just wanted to get the date on the.
yeah.
All right,
I
that's
just was curious, because I heard them talking about the library, and they were talking about the library at the same time in that
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
So,
all right, thank you.
They did tacos, so maybe I sent them, maybe they sent a bar. I didn't bring it with me, because I took out a ton of papers in here. You can mention that to me, or if you have them on, you can mention it to them, so.
Yes, it was just the bond payments. It didn't have the tax rate.
Pretty quick. She has one more meeting, the 11th.
what meeting's on the 11th?
They said, just to know now, I have one more meeting on the 11th. When I first bought our property,
Must be a new building meeting?
we were there maybe a month. and this guy comes down with his dog in my yard, and my dog's go running out, he starts yelling at me about my dogs, and I'm like, this is my property, he goes, but I have a trail up there. Well, then you should have bought the property. He lives like 2 doors up, just a miserable, yeah. And I scream and swear at him and everything back.
It was so not long after we bought ours, we were, do you know which one she has lunch or something like
I
that?
think when she was
And we look up,
referring to was
and there's
earlier
2 or
when I
3
came,
guys
which only showed the tax
with
rate.
rifles walking through the field.
I mean, I'm sorry, only showed the.
I mean, they were hunting, of course.
But still.
And so,
It didn't show the tax rate number.
I don't
So the
remember.
tax
Right,
rate,
right, right.
it started as 5 cents and it goes to 16 cents and it goes down.
they never came
But I
back.
have spreadsheets that
I don't like the
show,
hunting law in New Hampshire,
so
that if you don't post it,
I
they,
can
I don't like that.
produce some of
I just think
the
that's so
to-
wrong.
Yeah.
They should ask permission, not forgiveness.
Because I have to go to New York on Friday, so I know not that.
That's what it is in Mass.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that where you guys are from?
So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna be
we
here
didn't-
Friday, so,
Yeah, we didn't hunt or anything down there. I remember
Well,
one of
this
the
is what
cell
Rebecca
this
was
is until the
asking
second.
for.
staff mentioned that.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just thinking the more help, the better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because we're running out of time, we need to get that
Yeah, it's- it's
handling out before, so they at least have a week. I want everyone to have next week before the thing happens.
I mean, I understand that over time, things change,
I couldn't
and
think of a better word than
this
this.
is not a rural area.
It's not that word. This financial analysis really
There's
wasn't good.
a lot of trees,
When you do
it
a
seems rural,
financial
but
analysis,
it's
looking at long-term
not
return,
houses.
A lot of
the
houses.
surprising thing is.
It shows up in the situations where there's town land and then it's surrounded by, developments and all these old trails and all sorts. So people think
There's
there's
no
out
financial return.
in the country.
3% to 4%.
Not anymore.
Well, then they think, oh,
Because it just keeps going up and up.
anyway, but,
So
They don't have to think it's
if
belongs
it's
to
a
somebody.
long-term view.
oh, no,
It really makes
definitely
financial
not.
sense.
It's just open land.
For their enjoyment.
But you can't make a financial.
People are funny, aren't they?
based
I
on
mean, it's okay if they enjoy it, but then it's
Right.
This was putting a trail
Right, they cut
associated
trees
on the
and-
building,
Yeah.
which was expressly
People are funny.
designed from the outset.
hilarious. I'm sure you know
Instead
better
of
than
building
most, probably.
Right.
You never know what the day's gonna bring.
There's advantages to the location compared to the.
I think you're done.
And other things that,
Yeah.
you know.
I thought they were coming, made a motion to adjourn right now. That's how they walked out.
I don't want to take up your time.
Oh, you're good.
Just go, but,
But
did you ever get any
financial.
I think
comment or feedback
anywhere
from,
else where I can open my
feedback is a nice way to put it, from Mr. Schultz about his decision?
Because every day at 2 o'clock.
Absolutely not.
Get that done. Have you ever seen the movie?
No, he did say he was okay with it.
Chevy Chase.
We live about a third.
I mean, he did, he's okay with it, he was on to
Yeah.
something else, what was he on to?
Well, I was thinking maybe he's just on to
Well,
something.
there's one
He
time
was
at
on
2
to
o'clock
something
every
else.
day. He comes by and
Skip
he either
the break.
honks or he does
Well, he's
like
supposed
wiggles
to-
a couple of times. You know, like, and it's
One- He
right
did
there.
call me out, and he was okay with it, but
So, yeah.
I forget what he's on to now.
Well, it's good, because I
There
know you
are
said that.
benefits
Yeah.
that aren't monetary,
Oh.
that, you know,
He
just.
gives you an earful.
Oh,
Yeah.
But those, there's a benefit.
what, yeah, whatever, yes.
If you could,
What is he on to?
there's,
I don't remember.
it truly is a.
Maybe he realized
Just how much work it is.
It would be huge.
Why would
There's
you?
a monetary benefit to have
I don't know, I don't
employees
care how much money you're gonna pay me, I wouldn't wanna.
more conducive to work.
Yeah, it's really not gonna be a money
I
maker.
mean, that's compared with the town hall.
Yeah.
When everybody's
And they're so
on one run,
particular, and I understand that, I
Hang it
went
all
into.
And I can imagine that any of those
Yes.
wedding venues are very popular.
But
And
how can you argue
the
about
woman
it's
that
worth
I spoke with at the
$125
Horse Society
a day?
said, yeah.
Right, right,
that's
right.
not the first time
No,
it's
you don't wanna do that,
started.
yeah.
But
Many
all of
different
those things actually do.
Right.
properties, and
Financial.
in some
benefits.
cases,
If employees are
there can be,
productive,
depending on how things are written, it may be possible to do.
that has financial.
Right, but
benefits.
his easement was
It's
very
just very
clear.
hard to put in.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Right.
And that was one of the, was one of the earlier easements that
Yes,
didn't
it was.
didn't
No, that would
reference,
be great
you
if
know,
you wanted to do
RSA and
that.
agricultural changing, that just said, oh,
Right.
yeah.
So, okay, well, good, I'm glad you didn't.
Yes, yes,
think about that.
thank you, yes. Have to think about him, because he's a character. I hope you all have a good night, like I said, they were done when I came home.
Early still, so that's good.
It's only 7, isn't that nice?
Yes.
And it gets light so nice and early in the morning, isn't it great?
Well, we missed that part, but.
I probably go to bed a lot earlier than you guys do. I'm an early to bed, early to rise. Actually, I'll wait for this.
Should I write down the words I need to use?
Not really.
Do you want a moment to write those down for me, Nancy?
Yeah, I think, I can.
Otherwise, I can let Rebecca give it a shot.
It was pretty short and sweet. Essentially, you need to make a motion to release the right-of-way that runs over the Wolf property, the town's right-of-way that runs over the Wolf property.
Tax map,
No,
what?
no, 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 no.
Tax map?
Wait, no, wait.
23,200 and all costs borne by the Wolves.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? What?
Take the discussion.
Oh, does anyone want to discuss it?
I'll set.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
I hope this brings peace to their
Yes,
home.
me too. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good night. Do we need to seal the rest of the minutes?
Yes, I moved to seal the non-public meeting minutes, although do we need to seal them? We literally just said everything. All right, I moved to seal the non-public meetings. One day we're gonna have to unseal some of these.
Yes,
Yes.
it's on the list of when the reasons.
Yeah.
Craziness.
So Denise, have you not been working with this for a long time? Like, when does the craziness stop?
You're right.
Are you just thinking when I leave, it'll come down? It turns out I won't have so many things to do.
We have a motion, do we have a vote yet?
A motion for what?
Motion is sealed
To
and
seal the
non-public.
minutes.
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved.
Which motion are we not voting on?
Yeah, and just as a housekeeping matter, that is a very real thing that the board is gonna have to do.
Yeah.
And we'll bring forward a list, and you have to review the minutes in non-public session and decide which ones no longer need to be.
And we're talking back like a long, like
5
what's
years,
the what's the year that they get unsealed anyway?
I've been trying to find that date.
Oh, is there one that just defaults to being on?
Yeah,
Well, there's
eventually
So they
just
just,
no work
they-
anything?
they've changed the legislation recently, so if you don't do anything with the minutes, if you don't reseal them, and I believe it's 10 years, but I'm not 100%.
So we should go back to whatever that is and then review it. If you did like, I don't know, a quarter of a year, every whatever.
Maybe we could just have a meeting that's just non-public to do that, and we could bring snacks.
Yeah, that's true. That could be kind of fun.
Just saying.
So what's happening on the 11th?
So I guess
The
that's my
select board
last
meeting?
select board meeting. So we're gonna, because we're having a Madbury meeting on the 4th.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not, it's gonna become the select board meeting because they're going to Madbury on the 4th, which means you can't really do all the things. So we're just gonna have a kind of a regular select board meeting on the 11th. We are not having one next Monday, you guys.
Right.
That's amazing.
And then the 4th, we won't have one because you're going to the.
Madbury.
Well, we're going to back. So we have to have some, I think we said we had to call it a work session.
But you will have the manifest to sign and other things, so I will
Yeah.
check on that Friday before I leave, and then there'll be some select board things to do.
Okay.
I meant that at this, I know I have to put it.
All right?
Can you, how hard is it to scan that stuff and send it to us electronically?
Are you allowed to do that?
Non-public.
No, not the non-public, the manifest.
Shoot, that,
Oh.
You can't, because the reason that you do the manifest is you really are going through everything that's on there and then matching it and making sure you know what it is. It takes a while.
it would take a considerable amount of time to scan that, I think, just because it's not gonna, we're not able to just put it into the
They're all
the
different
top,
sizes.
they're all different
and-
size bills.
Well, the stubs, some
Yeah.
places want stubs, some,
Yeah.
you know, it's like.
It takes like 15 to 30 minutes normally
Oh, I've done it before.
to do
I've
it.
done it too. I was just wondering if we could do it electronically.
Yeah,
I
no.
guess we could try.
Well, I'm just thinking in terms of rotation, you know, you did it,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it'd be nice, if you could do it where one of you does it every 6 weeks, that would not be that much of a burden.
What do you mean every 6 weeks?
They
Like-
rotate.
Because it
Rotate.
everybody
Oh,
takes a
oh,
turn.
okay, yeah.
I think one person doing all of it is, it's an entire extra commitment.
I think what's hard is when's it ready?
Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
and then
It's
come and do-
consistently Thursday now, yeah.
I mean, that's my hard time, because then she leaves there by noon on Friday.
So one thing that we've done
Yeah,
in,
we never get to leave it.
yeah, I've never seen them leave, but,
Well, okay, they're supposed to leave at noon.
No, they're
12:30.
closed.
so if you
They're
guys
supposed
did a
to be closed
rotation,
at 12:30, yeah.
if you did a rotation and one of you could like make it work, one of you could only like make it work at like before 5 on Thursday, and one could make it work on Friday, and another one couldn't do it all, you could always have those ones come at like 5:30 on the Monday before the meeting to review, right? Because we've had to do that in a pinch when I couldn't get it done. And so you could make it kind of
That's what
work.
we used to do. We used to do it during the meeting,
Yeah.
which is.
It would take so long, right? But you could do before the meeting, right, exactly.
Okay,
One
well, we've
person
got
could do
a
it.
couple weeks to figure it out.
Yeah,
Because you work 9 to 5, right?
I'll do the next one.
8 to 4.
Could it also be that the manifest, if somebody had to do it after 5, is there an office or someone who stays open later, like Liz, that could have it locked up and let somebody look at between 5 and 6, and then lock it up and then go?
Depending on what night, like a Tuesday night, they're there till 6.
Yeah, but it's
leave at
not-
Yeah, it's not,
Thursday.
if it's not done until
Before the Monday.
Thursday and we have Monday meetings, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be
So that doesn't work, okay.
efficient to.
Well, sounds like a fun problem for you guys to solve.
What are you doing?
Could you say that without a smile on your face?
Dude,
Sorry, you guys.
you're gonna miss us when you're done.
You're gonna miss me. Only on the manifest days, though. All right, is there anything else we need to discuss today? I move to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion? So moved. All, I'm sorry, we'll vote first. You nodded and I thought it meant, all in favor? Aye. So moved. I really hope no poor soul actually watches these meetings right now while I'm losing my mind.
You'd be surprised.
I know.
People that call and say, I was watching last night,
Yeah,
and.
and Katrina's losing it slowly, for sure.
So you want to show Rebecca?
That's what I was talking about.
You asked about something like this.
Yes.
This one is more complicated.
John was asking.
This is how she shows cost of all
That
that.
what she wants.
This is the old one, right?
Yeah, this is-
Or,
this is-
2018, okay, I just wanted to, yes, this is
This
what I'm
so
talking
this
I
about.
get
doesn't have
mine.
the right numbers in it.
Right.
But my point is just
Oh,
where we have.
yes, next time, yeah.
That do this.
Oh, okay, so that was so
It
cool.
is all built in, you know, this is typed in, this is all.
Oh, no, I would have-
Sure, of course it is, John.
I thought I had two
expect
more.
nothing
This is
less
really
from you.
And the tax
I didn't know
base
next Monday was
escalates, so you pick
not
an
happening.
escalation for the tax base.
Was it on the calendar?
And it shows you what
Oh, my
the
God.
tax rate is. They were, other